Welcome back to Articulate with Steve McJones. Now this feels like a classic Articulate episode, dude. And I'm not just saying that because the latter 20 minutes of the episode are just solely about Weezer. But because, this is a guy, Pete Eckenroth, who comes on to talk about his taste in music and his experience with listening to music in the best mediums. And he's just a person who loves music almost as much as I do. Maybe more, maybe a little less. We don't have to compare. It's obviously I have a smaller dick, it's fine. But it just feels like we're having a very natural conversation. And yeah, I was a very big fan of re-listening and editing this episode just because it just felt, like I said, kind of comfy and a warm, old Articulate episode. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, and enjoy. Thank you.
Salvia, apparently.
Oh.
That was a whole thing.
Yeah.
He got lost in the woods.
With that chair, if you want, it has a car seat thing on the side where you can lean it up if you want.
I got you.
Or chilling, do you. Just letting you know.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Eckenroth. How you doing, sir?
What's up, skaters? How are you guys?
All right. So we actually met probably at 2th Street, right?
Yeah, probably 2th Street or South House.
Oh, yeah, South
Raven,
House.
Yeah.
Or, one of the regulars.
An open mic.
Yeah, we, I think actually one of the first, it was South House, because we were with Trent Nelson, and I brought up Rivers Cuomo, and you're like, Rivers Cuomo, dude. I know Rivers Cuomo.
Dude, I've got hot takes about Rivers.
Yeah. Well, so Weezer, let me tell you, is my favorite band. I'm not proud of it, but it's just they hit right when I was an adolescent, teenager with angst, and listen to Pinkerton and
Pinkerton. My initial hot take on Rivers Cuomo is that Pinkerton, the second half of Pinkerton, if it was just those 5 songs from The Good Life onwards, then it would be the greatest album ever recorded.
You don't like the first 5?
No, I do.
Okay.
I do. But just those 6 songs in succession is just mwah. It's just al dente. You're just no, you got it right. This is it. And that they've been trying to hit that same. That is the watermark for the rest of Weezer.
Yeah, I don't know. So I got into them right after Everything Would Be Alright in the end came out, and right before White Album. And again, another thing that helped, it was I was right at that right age, and then a girl said it was her favorite band, and I was like, oh, sure, what should I listen to? What should I start with? She's like, I don't really know. Just the entire discography is really good. So I was like, oh, okay. And I just listened to it, literally blew to the end of Everything Will Be Alright in the end. And I was like, that is a trip, dude. Going through all that, man.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's I do like that how they've definitely became adults throughout it. And I like that. Because there's a lot of musicians who are oh, this is a corporatized attempt at something. You know what I mean? Weezer's always been on a major label. They're always so it's are they actually these nerds? Are they actually? And then you're no, he's a dork. He's a dork always, but he's not an incel anymore now, guys.
At least he's not an incel.
He's building.
There was.
As opposed to if you're a Madonna fan and she's been talking about being out on the floor for 40 years. It's no, at some point your knees stop working. You have a bad hip now. You can't be grinding on everybody, Madonna.
Oh, man. Poor Madonna, dude.
Poor Madonna.
But yeah, so that was kind of again, that was one of the first bands. So it's funny, my music taste before 8th grade was just me, listening to pop radio and whatever my brother and sister kind of had on at the time. And then 8th grade, there was I started hanging out with a hipster chick, and it was I got into the Arctic Monkeys and all that good stuff. And then the Weezer thing happened. So those were my first introduction into oh, this is my taste now. These are my things.
So, what music did your parents like?
Yeah, so it's funny though because
I feel that is the largest thing that people don't acknowledge. It was always what my brothers played or what my friends showed me, and it's well, no, but your parents had a stack of CDs in the car.
It is and the reason I think a lot of people don't acknowledge it is because you grew up with it, so it's just kind of sounds like natural background music to you. But you're 100% right. There's a lot to be acknowledged there. So my dad, and that's the thing is I didn't acknowledge that really until early mid college, I guess, so probably 19, 20. So I was more focused throughout high school on forming my own instead of acknowledging that they had introduced me to all this stuff. So Like my dad played like Jack Johnson and like Bob Marley. He was really big Neil Young guy, so I like.
My dad's also a big Neil Young guy.
What dad isn't a Neil Young guy?
I think that is Neil Young. I think is the great like dad unifier.
Yeah,
it's like no matter what you like, Neil Young has got a spot for you.
Exactly.
Whether you're a Harvest Moon dad or a Cinnamon Girl dad, you're a Neil Young dad.
Right. Yeah. So what about you?
So I guess my mom listens to Barry Manilow's greatest hits.
Nice.
With regularity.
It's a good
and also Duran Duran's greatest hits.
Really?
Which I honestly think had much less to do with my interest than what my dad. Like, my dad's a Deadhead.
Oh?
And I'm not, like, super into the Dead, but I think it immediately gave me the green light to be like, you can listen to shit that other people won't be able to stand, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to explore what that is. So when I was a kid, that became ska very early.
Oh, really?
Like, I was a ska kid all through middle school.
So like Warped Tour?
I went to Warped Tour like 2 or 3 times, but I was also a scene kid later.
Okay.
But but I was really into Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake, Skank and Pickle.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Operation Ivy, and I was like got in the punk a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess. Well, I wanted to acknowledge first of all Duran Duran. Like my mom was also like big into like the Cure and like kind of
The Cure,
like Poppy Smith's type of stuff too.
Yeah.
But and so like that, I think that gives me like a little bit of range like with my dad. But how do you jump from like Barry Manilow and the Grateful Dead to like ska?
So I guess like
there had to have been some like outside influence.
My dad was also super into like played a lot of Motown, really like Otis Redding. So, like, I always kind of liked, like, the horn section of all of that stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think I was honestly, I think it was being a band kid. Like, I played bass in, like, the middle school band.
You were a band kid?
Yeah, well, not really. Only in, like, middle school. But it was enough time to learn, like, to become friends with enough people with trumpets that I was like, I want all my friends to be able to join my band. Yeah. And then the Mighty Mighty Ballstones eventually found him. Was like, hey, dude, you told me we can have 14 people in a band and people will like it. All right, this will be sick. All the gang.
Yeah. Real quick, you were also an Eagle Scout, correct?
I'm an Eagle Scout. Yeah.
And currently still.
Yeah, you're always.
You don't have to do.
You're always an Eagle. Yeah, dude. You don't got to renew your certification or anything.
Were you doing that at the same time as you were a band kid?
I was doing that forever. I started in Scouts in 1st grade as a Tiger Cub, the earliest you can be.
I was a Tiger.
And I aged out of Boy Scouts. Like I made Eagle when I was 16 and just stuck around. I got all of my palms twice. Like I just loved it. I loved every part of it.
Did you win the racer, the car race?
Oh my god, the Pinewood Derby.
Derby.
I came in 2nd one year.
He said, "Oh my god, the
Pinewood." Yeah, dude, I came in 2nd one year. My dad had built like a Baja truck, like the ones that do like the Dakar rally. He had made me one of those. Like we'd worked on it together. Yeah. Also, the amount of kids whose dads would just make the shit for them was bullshit. Like my dad like wrote out like a little form, like sketched it out for me. But I was downstairs for 8 hours with a fucking coping saw at like 9. My dad's like, "You're gonna figure it out." I don't know, dude. Call me if you need me to call an ambulance. Like other than that, you've got it.
Nice. Well, that's good.
But my brother won, and I was real jealous.
Damn, your brother was in it. Yeah. Is he an Eagle Scout?
He is not. He quit at like Star.
What a nerd.
Yeah, dude. What a geek, dude. My sister almost got a gold award in Girl Scouts and like just bailed last minute, and like
It's really about the consistency.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Also, I think it has to do with what else you're good at. Like. Until I started doing, not to bring back anything to do with comedy, but like as a kid, like before stand up, the only thing that I did that like I was consistently good at was like I was good at Boy Scouts. Like I figured it out. I knew what to do. I knew how often I had to work at it. I had to practice my knots. Like I knew what was up.
Yeah.
But I wasn't good at school. I wasn't necessarily good at sports. Like it just wasn't.
It just kind of came. It was more of like a talent originally, rather than like a skill. That you
I don't even know if it was a talent. It was just like a very clear.
It just worked in your mind, basically. Well, so what about band? Like, was band like a...
So, like, I don't know. I played bass. I still play bass.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I wasn't... I'm not good at it. Like, I could play a lot of punk songs, but, like, I'm not, like... I'm not a virtuoso. And, like, I didn't want to play in the marching band in high school. Like, that just felt a little sus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. But also, I did more sus things. Like, I did the choir and dtheater in high school. So.
Yeah, I did choir in 7th and 8th grade, dude. That was fun. I think that... I don't know, dude. I respect people that do it and like get really into it and like do like show choir and like actually put a lot of work into it. But for me, we were in 7th and 8th grade taking choir, and it just felt like our teacher was taking it so seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Like yelling at us for like not hitting the right notes, and it's just like, dude, like we're singing and we're also in 7th grade. This is junior high school, dude. You need to chill out a little bit.
But I think I met a lot of cool people who like showed me like a lot of cool music through that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got really into Streetlight Manifesto because I think that's like. I think Streetlight Manifesto, much the same way that Neil Young is for dads, is like if you're a white dude between the ages of like 33 and not 14, like you fuck with Streetlight. Like there's no way you don't. At some
especially
point.
if you play like a trumpeter. I knew a guy that was really into him that played saxophone. That was like, dude, they're my shit. Like,
yeah, dude.
Streetlight Manifesto.
Dude, that's that shit.
He was also into like. He got me kind of into it too, but like brass tracks and like bands that just do solely
big bands. And
but it's like trap music that they play with like orchestrated instruments. Yeah, it is really cool. I'll show you a song after this if you want. 3 a.m. Bounce, dude. It's a bop.
But so I was saying like I think that I'm jumping all over the place. My bad, dude.
No,
Jam bands. My dad liking the Grateful Dead was like the thing that gave me the okay. And part of that was like when I was 12, I started going to this music festival with them called the Gathering of the Vibes. Yeah, it was in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And what year was this?
Probably started going like 2011.
Okay, before Vibe was overused.
Yeah, before Vibe was overused. It was Gathering of the Vibe. It started in 1996, the year Jerry Garcia died.
Oh, wow.
So it was like a Dead festival. But that year, the headliners were... it was like Rat Dog, which is like a Grateful Dead, like Bob Weir's band from Grateful Dead. But then it was like The Roots, Primus, Jane's Addiction, Elvis Costello.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shit.
It's a whole...
I was like, this is a fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Like, this is... Wow.
Yeah, it's a whole world. Like, and it's weird when you find that, like... kind of relating it to Warped Tour because I don't have anything like that, but like you find like a subgenre. Like again, I started with pop, right? Like everybody does, or like whatever. But like when you realize you get into like one genre, and then you realize it's not just like a sliver of a genre, dude. It's a whole world of a niche that is like you've never even realized existed. And how did that play out for you? That concert.
It was so I was just allowed to like wander free, which I think is how I found all of it. Because my dad was not going to like sit through Jane's Addiction. He was like, "Yeah, I didn't like this when this was popular." Like,
but he's like, if you need an ambulance, that's when you.
Yeah, but he was like, run back to the campsite if you see something crazy happen. Just let me know. Yeah. But also, like I was saying, my dad's been sober since I was like 10. So he's in this group called the Wharf Rats.
He plays?
No. He's in a group of fans of the Grateful Dead called the Wharf Rats, which are there's people in recovery that are still deadheads. So there's like thousands of them at all of these festivals. Anytime you're at a concert and you see a dude with a yellow balloon, I'm not kidding. You think it's nitrous, but they're the sober people in the field trying to make sure that the people who are sober can get to them.
Oh, wow.
So like... anytime I got into any trouble at those things, there'd be a call immediately. They'd be like, "We saw your kid in a mosh pit," which was good. It was good because I was 12, and they were like, "Pete tried to fight an adult man. Should I grab him, or are you gonna let him learn a lesson? Like, what are we doing?"
Yeah.
But yeah, it was insane. I remember hearing Primus, and as a 10-year-old who played bass a little bit, being like, "You're telling me this can be a lead instrument? Mm-hmm. You're telling me that an entire band can be based around me slapping a bass?"
Slapping the bass, man. There you go. Slapping that bass, man. I slapping that bass.
This is crazy.
It's
like
wild.
This is everything I've always wanted.
Yeah, definitely. So did that lead you to get more into, playing or more?
For a while, but I don't know. I'm not good at.
Okay. Quick tangent. What is it? I mean, like, how would you rate like listening? Like, so concert is obviously the best way to experience music, I think, right?
For some people.
Okay, this is what I want to ask you about. How do you rate the mediums to listen to music?
Okay, so ultimately, the live experience is the variable, because it's like, if you're a good musician, if you're a fantastic musician, I would prefer to see you live every time.
Right.
But don't see your heroes live anymore. Is kind of what I'm like. If you've adored an elderly person, a person that is now elderly, you don't need to go see them do that. Like there's no like I don't know.
Dylan. We were just talking about Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I saw Bob Dylan like 3 years ago at Firefly.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Really?
It was like genuinely rough.
Oh man.
And like I saw Neil Young though, same like an equally old person.
Yeah.
Still rocking.
Really?
I was like, okay, well maybe there's hope in it. But like Paul McCartney had no voice by 2/3 of the way through, like when I saw him a couple years ago, and like that was 4 years ago. I can't imagine he's got any better since then. Like, Botox should only do so much for Sir Paul. Like,
yeah, but Paul's like been. I mean, he just put out a new album.
That's what I'm saying though. But in the studio, it's great. Like I've listened to the new Paul McCartney album. It's good. Like I no complaints about it.
Yeah.
So like I think that is kind of the thing. I think vinyl is the best way to listen to music.
Oh, really?
Recorded though, but I think that like honestly, just everything digitally is better for everybody. Like it's easier, but like the first time you play a vinyl, like a record, is the best sound you're ever going to hear that music be played in. But the issue with vinyl is that it's constantly deteriorating. The more you play it, the less good that will sound.
Yeah.
So you're kind of stuck in that limbo where it's like, unless you want to buy the same album that you loved 8 times, so you can hear it in the best quality, just find someone who recorded it well.
Put it on like Spotify.
Put it on Spotify. Yeah, find a remaster.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's.
I was gonna say though, like for me, at least. I used to. I don't know. I haven't been to a concert in a while, so it's like I've kind of lost the memory of it, the freshness of it. But I used to, at least in high school, consider like listening to music in a car almost to be better than listening to it even live sometimes. Because I know it's weird, but it's because it's like. First of all, it's like right there. You're like, you know, front row, like right in your ears, everything. It's just you in the car, and or even with like sharing it with one close friend or something, and like you can play all like, the best songs, like the songs that you know are about to hit right now, and or like the album, you know, and really like get into it. And well,
I think listening to music in the car if you're the driver.
Okay.
Is the best. Listening to music, okay, I don't know what your rules in your car is, but if you're driving, if I'm driving the car, I have the aux.
Right.
I have the aux until several vetoes. You know what I mean? 7 times. If people are like, can you please skip this? I'll be like, all right, someone else take the aux for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Being in the car with somebody whose music you don't like is the worst way to listen to music. Like, I have a friend who would only listen to, like, I don't even know, SoundCloud R&B in the car.
Man.
Like,
fun.
They're just like, like auto-tuned, high-tuned moan noises. I was like, can we not? She's like, this is what I like. And I was like, okay, well, I would like to drive myself next time we go somewhere. Like, this is awesome. Is painful.
yeah. But
the power, I respect.
You respect the power. Okay. Yeah. At least you respect. So that there is some sort of sanctity within that medium of listening to music.
Yeah.
What about like headphones? Just like directly, like if they're big beats or like. Obviously, I think the worst way to consume music is just people playing it off their phone. And just like walk, like that's the vibe. Like I don't know. I'm not a fan. Get a speaker, dude. I don't know.
As a young hipster, there was something about the tinniness of music being played out of my phone being reflected into a cup coming back out of it.
I do remember
that. I really found charming.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, oh my god, it's like every album is a Neutral Milk Hotel album now. This is crazy. And like, and yeah, I really liked it, but as I've gotten older, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go buy a speaker. Like, I don't.
So maybe it changes at your stage in life as well.
It changes your stage of life. Also, I think it has more to do with just like how willing you are to be like, I want to see the weirdest frequency of this song can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Like viewing, like listening to music in trying to get a different experience out of it.
Yeah, like I almost in a way like the way people would like sample it or like chop and screw it, where you're like, okay, well if you're changing like the pitch of it, like You know what I mean? Like Lonely by Akon.
Right.
Do you know Lonely by Akon? The actual song is like sad, but it's not like lonely. You know what I mean? Like, but if you took that actual that thing and you played it through a cup, bounced against a wall while you're taking a shower, it's gonna sound pretty fucking close. The original's gonna sound pretty close to what Akon figured out.
He knew there was something there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Dude,
so like
Shower. Actually, Shower might be better than Car. I never compared the two. But...
Yeah, with the proper amplification and neighbors and roommates who won't complain.
Yeah,
Shower is the perfect place to listen to music. Also, it's a good way to time yourself because you'd be like, put on a playlist that you don't like or that you're not in the mood for, and then just add as many songs as long as you want to shower for to the aux.
Exactly.
And then the moment it gets back to the shit you don't want to hear, you're like, all right, it's time to shave and get out. Gotta get out.
Yeah, but it does make for some very, very magical showers.
It does, dude.
You know? So then I guess you probably started out with the ska and Barry Manilow. I'm just comparing Streetlight Manifesto and Otis Redding. But and then from there, like, how did you see your taste change and grow, like, after that initial period? So did you how did you get music? Did you download it? Like, did you?
iTunes gift cards. For the most part, and then just watching shit on YouTube until high school when I could add things to Spotify playlists. Yeah. And then we'll just have the ads every once in a while. You know?
Right.
But yeah, so I became a scene kid after.
That's what I was gonna. That must have changed everything.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I was already. That's when the ears got pierced. I stretched for a little. I had gauges for a little bit, and my parents were like, "You knock the fuck off." Like, because I had the psyop.
Little...
No. I mean, I was running a psyop on my parents because I bought fake gauges when I first got my ears pierced. So I was like, I'll get the fake ones. They're just earrings with the backs on this side so that I could covertly stretch my ears. Yeah. And they'd think none the wiser. But I made the mistake of just having like actual gauges in one day. Aww. And my parents were like, you
can't be doing that shit.
Yeah, don't do that. So the Sync It, I listen. A Day to Remember is like top 3 favorite band ever for me, dude. Like,
I like A Day to Remember personally.
Which I?
I do like A Day to Remember.
Oh, yeah.
Like, again, it's not like my genre, but I mean, they're like the best.
They're the best of the genre.
Right.
Like, that's, exactly. Precisely. So they
just real quick comparison. It's like, I'm not super into like gay culture, but I don't have anything against it, but like, my roommate over the summer, he was like, yeah, it's RuPaul All Stars Season 6 is coming out. You want to watch it? I'm like, I mean, it's All Stars Season 6.
You have to, dude. Yeah. Of course, dude. If you're gonna do it, do it the best.
Exactly.
Like, get the best.
But yeah, like A Day to Remember.
A Day to Remember. It felt like that. Just like someone lit a fire in my middle school, and it just burnt on fire all the time. Like, it was. Somehow, from 6th through 8th grade, we had, like, I don't know if your middle school yearbook had this thing, but they would have, like, as vote on things, it'd be like, the school's favorite band was the school's favorite.
Oh, really?
And A Day to Remember won all 3 years that I was in middle school. And they beat, like, Taylor Swift. They beat, like, it was insane.
That's awesome.
It was crazy.
So your entire high school was scene kids?
My entire middle school was just, like, full of scene kids or closet scene kids.
Yeah, half of them have killed themselves by now.
Like a third, but yeah.
That's sad.
I mean, and half of those were plans, half of those were heroin. Don't even.
Yeah. Okay.
I live in the opioid belt. That's nice.
Nice.
Yeah, you're from
same. I'm from Ohio. So.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. The Fenton Nation.
The Fenton Nation, dude. But yeah, so that A Day to Remember was probably like the biggest influence, and from them, they like for you, if you were into more like the ska kind of angsty stuff, then going into A Day to Remember, I bet the natural progression from there is probably either more like regular classic-y rock type or like poppy rock type stuff.
Okay.
That's probably when you got into Weezer, right?
So I was like, okay, so I got into Weezer with as like younger than all of that because my name is Jonas, was on Guitar Heroes 3.
Yeah, that's
so that just started the spiral. That just started the whole. I was like, oh hell yeah, this is so cool. Yeah. And then I was angry in middle school, so when I started with the ska, that's when Pinkerton came into play.
Okay.
It was like, cool, dude. This guy also doesn't get girls. He gets me, dude. Damn, dude. Another girl he liked turned into a lesbian. I get that, dude. That's something I get, man. Yeah. It was like, hell yeah, dude, Rivers understands.
So then A Day to Remember, and then into
A Day to Remember went into like I don't know, briefly like Sleeping with Sirens and like all of those other. I still like Pierce the Veil, not Pierce the Veil. That's not even true. I don't like Pierce the Veil. Fuck Pierce the Veil. They suck. They suck. I adamantly hate them, and I'm not really sure why.
Okay. You don't need a reason. You're allowed to hate things for no
fuck
reason.
Pierce the Veil, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Every time I listen to them, I'm like, I want to die. This is the worst. It's the worst thing ever. It's like Neck Deep. Like, I still like pop punk.
Yeah.
And, like, people are like, dude, I love Neck Deep. And I was like, I don't like you. I don't know why. I just don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like people.
There's no
like
good
them.
reason, but it's just, I feel that, it's a feeling.
I feel like there's a problem with them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
And then...
Okay, so... Alright, so I was still in the Real Big Fish, like, all through high school, but ska and Day to Remember were, like, mainstays until halfway through then. And then it just kind of turned into... I got really into classic rock, I guess. I got really into Rush.
Really?
I got super into Rush. I got into, like, Yes, and, a little bit of, like, Dream Theater, which I regret the Dream Theater.
What's Dream Theater? I've never heard of
they're just a prog rock band, but they're, like,
The prog rock.
The prog rock band of like modern
Okay.
music, almost like I don't know if you like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah.
Kind of something like where it's like everyone's like, I don't know if psych rock is really a thing now, but if it is, it's them. Right?
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, and so that sounds like again, it started initially from you playing the band and then just kind of like developing it from there, and like what were your main influences, you think, as you, like... Because I thought after high school, I think, again, I got really into, like, Weezer and everything, right? And, like, alternative rock and you know, almost indie pop a little bit. And then into college, it was like, okay, I need to, like, listen to music that other people listen to maybe sometimes. So I had to adapt and, like, start listening. I was like, all right, let me see if I can get into any sort of, like, R&B, hip-hop. You know, in a way it was almost a fit in, but then eventually it just started kind of hitting too, you know?
So, well, you went to big boy college out the jump, right?
Right.
So I went to community college, and that meant that I got to live in my inclusive music bubble for another, like, 2 years.
Yeah.
I think the only reason that I have any concept of any modern music that happened from, like, 2017 to, like... last year, 2 years ago, was because I got a Subaru Crosstrek, and it came with a year of Sirius.
Really?
So I listened to XMU, like the college rock station, all the time. And then when I went to community college, I like worked at the radio station.
Oh, really?
So like I had like, you know, I had friends, and I had a friend named Lindsay in high school who would just be like, "Hey, you should listen to that."
Yeah, I didn't know you listened. What'd you do in the radio station?
So I just I helped around for the first semester, and then my second semester I had a show called Pete's Pop Punk Pizza Party, where for an hour I would eat pizza and DJ pop punk songs on the radio. It was very nice.
Did it blow up? Was that how you started?
Oh yeah. Let me tell you. That's what started this lucrative career.
Well, of comedy. And,
$9,000 a year doing comedy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wanted to kind of... You brought it up on a Cautious podcast, actually, but you were talking about comedy and how it's like, dude, if you do it for like 10, 15 years, you know...
You'll find something,
there's going to be... like you'll get like a... maybe... Like, after the first 3 years, if you can increase your fan base by, like, 8% every year, then at some point that 8% is going to be enough to have some sort of stream of income, you know, or something like that. And I was thinking about that a lot, and I was like, well, if you start comedy that early and build up that fan base, you could also build up, like, what you were talking about, like, things that you were naturally good at in general, and have, like for me, is like if I do that and then like comedy and then say, you know, I learn how to write music and get good at music and like start putting that out regularly. And like at the beginning, it's like you're gonna have to like juggle all these things and like learning all of them, which will be hard. But if you do them for like 10 years, if you have 4 things that you put out into the interwebs, and each one has like, again, a small niche following, it could be enough to just support you at that point, which is really cool. It's like an aesthetic based career.
I think comedy is misleadingly difficult, I guess. Where, like, it seems a lot more, like, not saying it's easy to make it or anything, but that, like, you could be the world's greatest jazz drummer in Milwaukee forever, right? And you may never meet anyone ever in that time that could ever do a goddamn thing to help you on that journey.
Right.
If we're Kevin Bacon, like degrees of Kevin Baconing from any A-list comedian, and you've been doing stand-up for a year? Less than a year?
Yeah.
You're at worst 2 degrees away. Just of people you know currently. Just of the people you currently know.
Yeah.
It's like you're fucking hang out for 15 years and eventually you'll find a wagon to hitch to. Like you'll find a career.
Yeah.
You just gotta just gotta be willing to do dumb shit to get it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Which again is very interesting. So you ever think about starting up your bass playing career at all and trying to get
sometimes, yeah, dude. During quarantine I was playing a lot of bass.
Oh, nice.
For a while there, it was me and Lemaire and another roommate who all played instruments. Like Lemaire was learning how to play the saxophone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
I would love to learn the saxophone, dude. Saxophone is such a beautiful sounding,
cool, dude.
Sexy sounding, dude.
So he got it because Jay Simpson, like a greatest comedian of all time, Jason Simpson, greatest guitar comic. He bought a purple saxophone off of Wish, and then May was like, "We're having a baby, Jason. You can't buy a saxophone. You can't be playing a saxophone when we're having an infant soon."
Yeah.
So Lemaire was given a saxophone. Like as soon as we moved in together, he was gifted a saxophone. So he was just been playing the shit out of it.
Yeah, is he still playing it?
Yeah, a little bit. Every couple of days.
Is he good?
He's getting better.
Nice.
He's better. Do you know Steve Bickle? He came in, gave him he's a comedian who's in a really good band.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called? Sunny Knockout?
Something like that.
Yeah. Sunny Knockout. It's Sunny Knockout. That's the name of his band. They're very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a relation between music and comedy?
Yes, in the sense that I think that people who are willing to learn to play an instrument and want to entertain people are also equally willing to be a dummy on stage.
Yeah.
And make a fool of themselves. And because ultimately, I think that that's just what it comes down to is the people who are willing to be I want to go play a sax solo are probably also willing to come tell you a joke. The confidence that is required to do that is much higher than the confidence required for me to go to an open mic. So if you're capable of doing that, I'm sure that they have all of the innards necessary to do what we do.
Right. Yeah, and I think there is something to be said about learning it too. Learning an instrument. For me, I didn't get to start comedy until this year, right? Yeah. And a lot of the times it felt like I wasn't I would always try to write jokes and things like that, but it felt like I wasn't putting it to basically I was writing lyrics and I didn't know how it sounded with the music, where the music is the people laughing, you know? And I think there is something to be said for learning the guitar and learning the little strings and everything, but you got to be able to put it together to make the song and things like that. I don't know how it works with brass. I don't fuck with brass.
I took a trombone lesson one time. It was I just couldn't even figure out the lip shape. I was I don't even I tried to play the flute one time and I was I don't even understand how to make a sound with this, let alone play it well.
Yeah.
I was studying upright. I was I'm gonna learn the fingering, I'm gonna do the whole thing, and I was this isn't the problem. It's I don't even understand from a physics perspective how this makes noise. So you're telling me I don't blow into it? No, I'm fucked. I have no idea.
Dude, that's one of the most insane things. That was a big realization for me. I think it happened too late, in high school, where I was wait, if sound is the vibration coming from a string or from these brass instruments, how do we get that exact same vibration to come out of our little headphones? You know, how is there a full blown orchestra coming out of my ear?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking wild.
It is wild.
Dude, science is.
They're little tiny instruments in the phone that do it.
Robots.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, what do you think, Mr. Krabs got that violin, dude? He just broke a phone.
Probably.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I did want to ask, well, I guess this is where I really want to nerd out about Weezer, because we can, again, we tapped into it a little bit, but I wanted to, before we got too far, cover a lot of the basic stuff, but... Okay, so here, exactly right here, is where the rest is all about Weezer. So if you want to strap in for that, feel free to. I just wanted to let you know what you were about to get into with this second half of this episode. That being said, I do want to say, it does, between me and Pete, give us a little bit more background, and it is a lot more telling about our personality. So, strap in. Okay, so did you listen up until their new stuff, or like how far did you get?
I get spotty with it. Like okay, so the album "Thank God for Girls,"
White Album, dude.
The White Album, I think, was the last. After that came out, I was like,
You didn't like that album?
Not
that was like
really.
Like within Weezer fans, the White Album
was like their return to.
Yeah, it comes third for most people. After,
really?
Yeah, Blue, Pinkerton, and then typically White. Or now people really love OK Human. Because it's just like kind of well, and Back to the Shack, people like enjoyed.
Back to the Shack is good though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, well, people really
give you that. I liked the singles from White Album. I guess. Okay. I guess that was the thing. I liked Back to the Shack. I liked Thank God for Girls.
Well, Back to the Shack is there's that was 2014. That was Everything Will Be Alright in the end.
Okay.
And so people liked that one when it came out because it was like, oh, they're trying to come back and do like the guitar thing again, as opposed to doing like the weird indie pop type of thing.
Yeah.
And then White Album came out, and it sounded like they weren't trying to do that anymore. They were just trying to, come out with like a modern Weezer album that sounded.
Which I'll give. I just think it was. I think maybe the game didn't change, but the players did. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't know if
Weezer in 2016 should be singing about.
No. It was like I don't know if I'm the person who should be listening to Weezer anymore. I was like, I don't know if I need this anymore. I think that
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I think that a lot of bands like that have those type of like we have the attachments to from when we're young to an extent, like Weezer or Fall Out Boy or Panic at the Disco.
Day to Remember, yeah.
Or even like a Day to Remember. They're a crutch. They're like I don't have to go explore some other part of my personality because I like this band. And I spent like 3 years from like probably the end of high school to like community college, like the end of me getting done at community college before I tried to Temple, being like a Pinkerton dude.
Really?
And then like I got to a point where I was like, I don't need that. Like I'm not that anymore. Like that's not the person I am.
Wow.
This is no longer reflective of who I am. Like now, like I listen to again the second half of Pinkerton because I'm like these are just fucking al dente songs. Mm-hmm. But like you don't.
Like tired of sex, dude.
Tired? Yeah, fucking tired of sex. Dude, like The Good Life was probably, I think, like, not this year, but the year before that was like my 8th most listened to song, where I was like, this is like...
Still a classic.
This is a classic song, dude. Al Scorcho always makes the top 50.
Yeah. Fucking
Pink Triangle, most of the time is in the top 5. I'm like, this song is perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, everyone's like, he doesn't like the lesbian. I was like, no, he loves the lesbian. What do you mean? He adores the lesbian. He's like, I'm dumb. I'm sorry that I sexualized you and you're a lesbian. I shouldn't have done that. I read into it. This is my dumb brain.
Yeah.
And I was like, you expected her to love him. Why can't you be straight? I was like, you don't even get it, man. You don't understand this.
I love the progression of Rivers Cuomo.
Exactly.
Dude, it's insane. And like at this point, so like, we would start at the beginning of just him being raised on like a monk farm. Or whatever,
dude, a weird farm
of just like hippies, just basically, yeah. And then somehow after that background, getting into like punk, like metal, and like guitar tapping, and just like crazy.
Yngwie Malmsteen. Like what? What are you doing there, buddy?
Yeah, and then like. What I listened to, basically, they worked a bunch on the Blue album, and they were like, oh, this is going to be like a hit, this is going to be huge. And then what happened was, it was big, but with like 6th graders and like middle schoolers, and they were just completely let down at that point. And so it was like that initial letdown, and then kind of going into like the Pinkerton era where he's just like, well, shit, like that didn't work out, and like now I should go back to college and be an incel and and be like a nerd, right? And then
I don't understand how. Never mind, that was a joke I should not be making on a recording.
yeah,
dude, I don't know how he like didn't. Like I don't get how you can be an incel after having a #1 album, though.
Exactly.
Like, that is the thing about Rivers that always confuses me, where I was like, yeah, dude, I know you're, like, 5'7" and weird, but, like, you have the #1 album in, like, the country. You're the front man of the most popular band right now.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna want to suck your dick. Just stop telling everyone that no one wants to suck your dick, because someone will, but now they're thinking there's a problem with you. Like, now there's a reason that people are seeing it and being like, I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, and then imagine, so he's already like that, like you're saying, like he couldn't figure that out, right? And then he comes out with Pinkerton, and he's like, this is me, and he like puts that out there, and then people are like, fuck you, dude, what the shit was that? They're like, River, ew, dude, that's disgusting.
Rivers, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Which, for the record, I don't disagree with. Like, I love Rivers, but it is like, dude, like, you fucking nut? Like, what are you doing? Like, no, you don't make a song yelling at a lady for being a lesbian. Like, I know it's a great song, but, like, maybe you could, like...
Maybe not.
Maybe,
or, like, backpedal just a little bit. Just backpedal a little bit.
I don't know, maybe don't open a single with, God damn those half-Japanese girls. Like, maybe that's just not what you do. Maybe also don't assume that they all play the cello. That's racist.
A little bit. Yeah. But, again, and then so, like, then he got, like, crushed after that, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just like, you're the one, I would like to debate you. I don't like Green Album, dude. You love Green Album. Green Album, they're just like, alright, what can we do that's the most basic shit that people will actually enjoy after that bullshit Pinkerton that we put out?
Look, you can... Okay, I'm gonna debate. Would you rather me debate it aggressively or in a way that you might actually take my side on?
Can you do both?
Can we go first?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, shut your dumb whore mouth if you don't like fucking... The Green Album has at least three, off the top of the noggin. Actually, two off the top of the noggin. I was attributing Buddy Holly, and I don't...
It does kind of seem like a Green Album
I was like,
song,
yeah, but it's not. No, that's blue. That's blue.
Right. Hash Pipe,
dude,
and
Island in the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, oh my god, dude, isn't the Sweater Song also on?
Nope, that's Blue Album.
No, that's Blue. Fuck.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
So I mean, that might be it. It might be a lot of the things that I think are on, but I don't know, dude. Hash Pipe is great. Island in the Sun is great.
I agree. Island in the Sun is also
great. It's a good album.
Listen, and so I actually had this conversation with
and it's a pop album. And if you accept that pop music is scientific, if it's good, man. Yeah. It's got the hooks, it's got the rhythm, it's got good, nice, catchy lyrics, and it doesn't fucking upset your day.
Yeah.
Like, you can...
No, well, that's why
you don't turn off the radio when that comes on. You go... Bleh.
Yeah.
I got my hands pipe. You know what I mean? Like, they did what they set out to do. In Weezer's credit, I don't think they've ever put out an album that they did not accomplish the goal that they went out to achieve.
Yeah.
Do I think that the goal that they set out to achieve is fucking a good one?
No.
No. So I was like, it was a weird move there, dude. I like that it's very obviously just Rivers. The way they make Panic at the Disco is just Brendan Urie.
Yeah.
Weezer's like, yeah, it's the same four dudes, but this is me. Like, this is me, and we all know this is me.
Yeah. Rivers just like, all right, I'm gonna write everything and also produce everything, and then you just do it. And
you just do it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta
do. Yeah. But I agree. So I was talking about this with my roommate too, and he's like, he was getting, he's a little older, and so he was getting into them. And he's like, yeah, imagine after Pinkerton, you're just like, the Green Album comes out, and like, their worst song on the Green Album, on the Green Album is like a basic Green Album song. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, like, that's amazing. Up when that initially came out and you only had those three albums, like, Green Album, like, compared to the other two.
Yeah.
But personally for me, again, it's like I got into them after they came back with Everything All Right in the end in, like, 2014. And I had all the other shit to deal with. So after Green Album, there's like Maladroit, dude, Make Believe, Red Album, Early.
Okay.
Like, come on.
Red Album
is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's like, that was my favorite.
All right, I was making sure we're...
Yeah, no.
I was making sure. I was like, that's the one that I will throw hands over. I was like, don't even tell me Troublemaker and Pork and Beans don't fucking make your day.
Yeah.
Don't even.
Dude. We just shook hands over that, guys.
Yeah, dude, that was a fucking medieval friendship grip.
Yeah.
That was a truce, dude. We're not...
That's what I'm saying. Red Album was actually my initial favorite after I listened to the entire discography. Because I'm like, dude, greatest man that ever lived? What, dude? And then, like... going into like songs where like Pat's singing or like Brian's singing on it, dude, and it's just like different and like that's one of their definitely best albums after that. I did want you go ahead. Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
I just to see where your head's at. Who now? Will you acknowledge? I think we can admit that Weezer of today is now Weezer of before, and that there was a void left when Weezer stopped being Weezer. Mm-hmm. Who do you think currently fills the same void? Like operates in the same space that Weezer filled? Like, what musician or band do you think is like collected the people that would have been Weezer fans if Weezer kept being like, I hate women forever?
That's an interesting question because I don't really keep up with like, it's weird. I keep like modern music. I have a very specific taste. I think.
You listen to Bastille.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't really know like what the general public listens to that would like that. I get all my music from like my Discover Weekly on Spotify and like friend recommendations. So I mean I'm not quite sure. I would have to. I mean it's probably a poppy band nowadays that has some sort of grit, but I don't know. Like who did you have?
Honestly, dude, I think that sleeper pick might have been Mac DeMarco that picked up the Weezer kids.
Actually, that's not it. Because I did have a Mac DeMarco.
Yeah, my friends that are still in the Weezer and my friends that are into Mac DeMarco is a circle. Like that Venn diagram's a circle. They're the same people.
Right.
I think Mac DeMarco. Okay, if you're taking Pinkerton as chapter as Act 1, mm-hmm. I think that like
2. Is that what it's called? Or go ahead.
2, yeah. I think that 2 could easily be the second the Act 3 to that, where it's like something happens in the middle, but now look how happy he is that he's got he's got his baby now.
Yeah.
So it projects the same. It's the opposite sides of the same coin. So like it's Pinkerton is Rivers being like, I want somebody to fuck me. I want someone to love me, and I want someone to fuck me. And can she please be half Chinese? Like
Japanese, alright.
He's like, can she please be Asian?
Right.
And can I please see some mommy milkies, please, ma'am? Thank you. And like Mac DeMarco projects the opposite side of that, which is the actual core wants of the people yelling that are like, I just want a woman who loves me and that I love, and I want to be a husband and I want to build a family. Why? This is the opportunity that I want. This is what I'm longing for.
Yeah.
So like it replaced the resentment for the dream.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, for like, oh, this is fucking let my baby stay.
Yeah, chamber of reflection.
Yeah, dude. Ooh.
Yeah, it's that I agree. That's a very. I think you're right, and I think honestly we have gotten softer anyways. So like a softer Pinkerton.
We should be, for the record. Yeah. For the record, though, if Pinkerton came out today, I would be like, I'll fuck with it, but maybe not getting a poster for this band. Right. Like I feel like that'll be a red flag in a couple of years. Yeah, what about a Pulp Fiction poster? If I knew that would be a red flag in a couple of years.
Right. Yeah. But no, that definitely makes sense. I like that progression. But you listen to OK Human. That's really when I get it.
I did.
And you only like the first 3 songs?
Really? I mean, I didn't dislike it. Again, I found it was pleasant background music, but I couldn't find
As is most weekend.
I didn't find myself like gripped into it, really. Like
That's
I liked the first 3, and again, Alu Gobi, dude, give a little heart on Spotify, so I'll keep that in there. Like it was nice.
Nice, dude. Fuck yeah. All right, fair enough. Did you listen to Van Weezer?
I did, and I did not like it.
Yeah, so, I was gonna say don't.
Yeah, I listened when it came out. I was like, this will be sick, and then I was like, this is not sick.
This is the worst.
And then that whole covers album, I was like, I didn't like any of them. Everyone loved Africa, and I I was like, why?
They actually came out with another Toto cover called Rosanna.
I love Rosanna.
Dude, the Rosanna covers, they did it because people were asking them to cover Africa, and so they just they're just like, fuck you guys, here's Rosanna, and then they came out with Africa. Dude, I actually like the rest of their covers too. But yeah, I wanted to do a bit actually about, I was like, did you guys know that in 2021, Weezer completely rips the Crazy Train riff, just rips it for a song, doesn't acknowledge it at all.
Really?
Yeah, it was in Van Weezer.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just like, and the thing is, I kind of like it. Like, I have to live with that? Like, what is wrong with it? It's not good. And like River's writing process now, like that's what we were talking about when we first met, is like what I kind of respect about it is like he's been keeping data for like so long that all he has to do is like go into his computer. He's like, all right, I need to hear I need a chord progression. Clicks like 3 buttons. Is like, all right, that's the chord progression. He's like, all right, what lyrics can I put to this? Kicks like an Excel sheet, does like enter formula, has like the full song lyrics just ready for him based off of like shit that he wrote in the past. Like it's not good songwriting, but it's like impressive. Yeah, it's impressive in a way in intelligence. At least I can. I respect it.
Ultimately, I think I had a very profound, what I felt to be a profound thought about Weezer on the way over while listening to OK Human.
Okay.
Cause I gave 2 run-throughs. I gave once this morning when I woke and once on the way here.
Nice.
I think the reason I don't like Weezer now is the same reason that I loved them then. That I don't love is that like, okay, they've never shied away from being dweebs. They've never shied away from being dorks. And what had occurred to me was not necessarily about Weezer, but just about dorks in general. Young dorks are awesome. The nerds that suck are the old ones. The nerds that suck are the ones that want to wear a pocket protector and they only ever wear running shoes everywhere they go. Oh. And that's who they are now. They're old dweebs. Yeah. And it's like, I love them. I love them because they are who they are. Because young dweebs like cool stuff. And they do cool things. And they are forced to have personality. Yeah. But now they're just rich. They're the same things as that kid that was really good at fucking calculus that, like, is a CPA now from your high school.
It was impressive that you were good at calculus, but now
now it's just like, all right, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, you're just a tech bro. Yeah. Like, that's all you are. They're just a tech bro now. Yeah. They're just an old tech guy. They're like Bill Gates with a guitar. And it's like, you can do that, man. You can be a nerd. You can be a successful nerd. Yeah. But I'm not gonna suck your dick anymore, Rivers. You're like my dad's friends that he doesn't even talk to because he's like, they're pussies. That's it. Old nerds are pussies, and they became pussies. I was like, I don't like it, not one bit. Yeah. But I love them. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And I think from hearing what you said about Van Weezer, I think you're starting to feel the same way.
I am.
That they're old. They're little dweebs. Yeah. They're little old man dweebs, and they're like, I love them, but like. There's enough bands that were old dorks that haven't aged into old man dweebs. Like the Pixies were all geeky as fuck. And they're still rocking.
That's true.
Fucking Francis Black is still saying crazy shit. Just be like, Mashambala! Yeah, dude, like, they were all weird, and now they're all just like, bleh. I like that.
Yeah.
We got keep on rocking.
That's a really good point, man. I don't want to be that. It's like I want to keep loving them, man, but you just got to grow out of it. You got to move past it. And
now, what do I think that 10 years older people, like, I don't know, how old are you?
23.
Okay, we're the same age then.
Okay.
If, like, I think people that were in middle school when Pinkerton came out, like, probably like them more now because they're aging together.
That's fair.
Like, now that they are 53 and these people are, 38, they're in the same place. They're writing about, being like, oh, I want to be with their kids and shit. Like, they all have interests that they understand. And I just don't understand their current interests. It's like, you've all got kids and shit. I'm like, You know what I mean? It's like your friend that has a sick-ass Labor Day party every year. They have a sick-ass barbecue. But now they got 3 kids, and they're still having the barbecue. But you're like, something tells me there's not going to be beer pong at this one. Like, something tells me something's going to be a problem if I puke this year. And it's just like, that's... Yeah. So Weezer is for me. You look at the photo albums and be like, Pinkerton, this is a great time. Blue Album, this is a great time. Make Believe, this was a cool time. Yeah. This is not the best time, but a cool time. Yeah. It was a cool time.
Yeah, I mean, Beverly Hills, not a great song. Beverly Hills at Playboy Mansion? Yeah, I'll take it.
That's cool. Like... Yeah, Beverly Hills, the song sucks. Beverly Hills, the music video, alright by me. Yeah. It's not when that pops on the pop-up video, I'm not bitching. I'm just like, this is nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that? Remember those times?
So future artists taking time into account in your progression. Yeah. All right. deal with it. You're getting old. Change your interests, or be
or just be a person.
Yeah, be a person. Yeah. All right, Pete. Well, thanks for indulging me on my Weezer nerdity
No problem,
whole
dude.
thing.
Thanks for having me.
You. Yeah, absolutely. And you got any shows or anything coming up?
When will this be released?
Probably not for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, then every Wednesday, you'll follow me on Instagram, Pete Eckenroth42. Every Wednesday, I got a house show showcase showing up at Temple.
Nice.
Hit it up, boys.
All right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks, Gary. Honestly, like, just having this conversation recorded, I've only met one other big Weezer fan in my life, and I wanted to have this exact conversation with somebody else. He actually, the other guy I met, actually likes Weezer as much as I do, and I would actually still love to have him on the podcast, but he moved out to California. It's fine. Logan, I love you if you're listening. Anyways, Pete was a good perspective to have on it, though. Somebody who is a reasonable Weezer fan. You know, he has his points, you know. But thanks again, Pete. Follow him on Instagram. Check him out. Support his comedy. Do the whole thing if you want. I don't care. I like Pete. I care enough to talk about it for Pete. But anyways, thanks for listening. I love you. And
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.